Hello and welcome. My name is Olga. I'm a relationships coach and advanced fast EFT practitioner. And in today's video, we'll be talking and tapping on addressing feelings of loneliness, rejection, and isolation. We live in a very difficult time where we are in time of pandemic, and many of us be in order to stay home. And so what I've noticed in conversations with people in my community that this feeling been coming up quite a bit. And so I think today would be a good day for us to do a tapping video to help you clear up any negativity so you can go through this time with peace and grace and learn things that you want to learn about yourself and others, and really just keep your lessons and your gifts and leave everything else behind, because the truth is this is going to go away. Things will get better. It's all going to be okay. And we need just to come together right now the best we can, not physically, right? To support each other to get through this time. And so we'll start by 3 things that I recommend to kind of help you deal with those emotions and deal with those feelings. And the first thing I wanted to mention is actually a tip by Bruce Lipton. If you are not familiar with his work, he's someone who talks a lot about tapping in his work. He's an actual doctor, a medical doctor, has a wonderful website with a lot of resources. But he made a video recently talking about how to improve your immune system naturally, right? So he talked about how to create almost your inner vaccine, right? That protects you from the viruses and protects you from, diseases on a natural level. And so he used really fancy, terms, and he brought up a lot of science into this conversation. But essentially what he said is that one of the best ways to boost your immune system is to actually practice feeling good 3 times a day for 10 minutes, every time, right? So morning, lunch, evening. And so start thinking about ways how can you use this opportunity and how to use this super simple tool that I shared with all my clients last week to actually help you improve your immune system, improve your health, stay healthier, and just feel better altogether. Now, of course, the problem is if you experience a lot of negative feelings like loneliness, rejection, and isolation, it's hard to feel good, right? And that's where tapping comes to play. That's exactly what we're going to tap. We're going to help you clear anything that does not serve you, so you can tap into the good feelings. Now, if you struggle with finding ways to feel good, especially if you kind of like stuck home and you're in isolation, I actually made a blog post a couple of weeks ago on 10 things that you can do to help you keep your vibration up. I'll make sure to link it in the comments for this video. Meanwhile, the second thing that I want to talk to you about, if you're struggling with the loneliness, rejection, and isolation, is actually reach out. And I was talking to a friend lately and I said, well, how's your mom doing? And how's your sister doing? And he said something, well, none of them reached out to me in the last 2 weeks. And I said, don't be that person. Don't be that person who sits there and waiting for others to reach out. Go and reach out, send a text message, give people a call. You never know what's going on in their life, right? You might be the only person who reached out. You might be the one who supported them more than anybody else. And so if you're feeling like this, well, I don't have any friends or nobody's reaching out to me, find at least one person to reach out and to offer, some kind word, anything that can soothe them, anything that can support them, right? It could be super duper simple, but it will make you feel better as well. Every weekend right now, I'll call the 3 girlfriends or I text the 3 girlfriends who I love and adore. And you know what? None of them reached out to me either. I was the one who was reaching out to them. And you know what else? I will continue doing this every single week. Why do I do this? Because it's the right thing to do. Yeah, it's the right thing to do, especially in times like this. And so, my second tip is reach out. Find one person to reach out and support and offer, a kind word or just, some encouragement. And finally, the third tip to really deal with this turbulence of emotions. There's so much happening, and I'll do a separate video talking to people who are, don't feel lonely, but feel kind of like the opposite. They trapped in the house with people they're not necessarily dealing well along with. So we'll tap on that separately. But today we'll just talk about feelings of loneliness and rejection and abandonment that might be bringing up or coming up even louder than before and how to clear it. And of course, my tip number 3, if you've been following my work, it's tapping. Tapping is such a brilliant, such a simple tool. Right now we tap almost daily. I tap 2-3 times a day sometime, and it's literally seconds and not even minutes. It's just this, right? And my daughter, my 7-year-old, she kind of having a hard time with this whole situation. She really likes her friends. She's a social creature, and she's been taken out of her regular routine. And so she would come to me and she'll ask me to tap with her every single day. So about a week ago, I taught her how to tap. And so every time, before we go to sleep, she'll come to me and say, Mama, tap. And so we sit down and I'll just do, a quick round, and I'll say something like, I'm going to sleep well today, and I'm going to fall asleep easy. I'm going to have good dreams. I'm going to wake up, happy and peaceful and energized, right? So something very, very simple. And so use tapping on yourself, use tapping with your family members. In the mornings as a family, sometimes we'll read a Bible, but sometimes we do a round of tapping. So we're kind of like alternating. And so yesterday we just sit down and tapped all together for like 2 minutes literally. And I went around the table and said, what's coming up for you guys, right? And we just throw it all into a tapping round. And if you never learn tapping, it's such a brilliant and simple technique that I believe God sent to help us deal with negative, difficult, and hard emotions and actually physically release it from our body. So let's get started, shall we? So notice what's coming up for you in terms of loneliness or rejections or isolation. Maybe you're feeling trapped. Maybe you're feeling like you are in a jail in your own house. Maybe you have some other feelings coming up that are just like right there on the surface. Maybe you are feeling that you are abandoned and you don't have people in your life who want to support or reach out to you. Or maybe you're actually pretty happy with where you are. And you're just like, I'm kind of like an introvert, right? I actually kind of almost like this situation. And this is kind of what's going on for me right now. Apart from, all these horrible things that are happening in the world, I'm pretty happy with where I am right now. I like spending time with my family. I like having dinners together. I like going for a walk. I like cooking for them. I like taking care of them. So like 80% of the time, I kind of defaulted to my regular state of like 80% of the time I'm happy. Like news, of course, are horrible, needless to say, right? And I feel so much love and compassion and peace to people who are going through difficult times. And I'm also very conscious that I'm probably one of the people who are inconvenient, and there are people who are like in real struggle. And so ask yourself this question: where are you on this spectrum? Are you someone who's just an inconvenience, or are you someone who's an actual, really very difficult suffering and struggle, right? But whatever you are, sending you much love, and let's go ahead and tap. Ready? Go ahead and take a deep breath. And if you never tapped before, just, stay with me, repeat after me, do what I do and say what I say. It's very simple. So deep breath, breathe in and breathe out. And we're going to start with a simple setup statement. So this is from a classic EFT. Tap with me and repeat what I say. Even though I feel lonely, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel rejected, I love and accept myself anyways. Even though I feel trapped in this isolation, I deeply and completely love and forgive and accept myself. The feeling of loneliness, the feeling of rejection. I feel all by myself. I felt this way before. This situation just makes it stronger. Everything that's coming up for me, I choose to celebrate. Because if I'm feeling that way, it's subconscious becoming conscious, which means it's an opportunity for me to clear it. I welcome my feelings. I use my feelings to understand my patterns so I can release what doesn't serve me and keep the good ones. It's safe for me to feel my feelings. I'm not going to push them away. I'm not going to pretend that they're not there. I'm not going to stuff them down. All feelings are good feelings. I choose to celebrate them and experience them. They only get stuck in my body when I ignore them. Not today. I'm in a safe space to experience them, to feel them, and to release them with ease. I choose to feel good instead. I choose to notice good things around me, things that are worth to be grateful for, things that are worth celebrating. Could be really little things, like that I have food in the fridge, I have access to free water, clean water, and I can go for a walk. I have a friend to talk on the phone. I choose to notice good things. Whatever I feel gratitude for, whatever I celebrate, I bring more of those things into my life. I release the feeling of loneliness, knowing that I'm never alone. I'm always here for me. And there are people in my life who care about me. I release the rejection, all the way it was pattern from the past, all the way it's coming up for me right now. I choose to use this time as an opportunity to heal. I choose to use this time to connect with myself deeply, to learn something, and to move forward. The day will come when I start dating. The day will come when I'll start meeting other people. Do I want to go back to the old patterns, or do I want to manifest a great partner? I choose to use this time to go within and release what doesn't support me. And so it is. So finish tapping, go ahead and grab your wrist, take a deep breath, breathe in, and breathe out. Say word peace. Wonderful. I hope you found this tapping round helpful. Feel free to save this video and use it over and over again when any of these negative feelings overwhelm you, because almost immediately you'll feel the relief. I remember the first 4 days of isolation were so difficult and so daunting. I had all this stress in my body that I just couldn't shake off. And then I had a tapping session. I had a tapping session on myself with my practitioner. And it's just like my shoulders relaxed and I could feel, my normal, peaceful, happy feeling in my body. And it's pretty much stayed the same. So I encourage you to use tapping. If you have a practitioner you work with, reach out to them. If you don't, I'm happy to help. I still offer 2-for-1 discounted sessions with me right now. Just send me a personal message or write an email if you are watching this video from my blog, and I'll be happy to help any way we can. Other than that, next Wednesday, a week from now, so it's going to be 8th, right? April 8th, I'll do another Facebook Live right here at 10 a.m. on my Facebook page. Any questions that you have, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. But we're planning to tap on being stuck in the same house with people, right? And how to survive this time, how to get through this time, especially if you don't get along with those people, right? So that'd be a good one. All right, you guys, thanks again for joining. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.